Welcome to a Fables a Day, in which the Archivist reviews an issue of Fables a day up till the final issue, where he will undoubtedly cry like a baby. And there is no restraint on spoilers, so if that's a problem for you, well then go read the series and then come back. On with the show. Fables number 5, Chapter 5, the famous Parlor scene, sans Parlor, in which everything is neatly wrapped up in the end, even though few are satisfied with the outcome. So, how did Bigby figure all of this out? Elementary, my dear listener. You see, Jack was panting when he got to Bigby's office, even though he took a cab. And Jack's a very fit Fable, so a couple steps aren't really gonna wind him. And when they got to the crime scene, Bigby could tell it was staged really horribly. The blood splatter was everywhere enough that no one could have been in there without getting bloody, even when Jack said that he'd checked the bedroom. Not to mention, items were neatly placed to not be broken or avoided with blood completely when they shouldn't have been. Snow is now obviously pissed that for weeks, Bigby has led her on thinking that Rose was dead, but Bigby actually didn't know for sure how much of Rose's blood could be spilled without her dying, until earlier in the evening, when Snow made a joke about the caterers locking up all the good food. Her and Jack stored the blood in the freezer until they needed it. And why did she do it? To back out of her marriage with Bluebeard, who she only agreed to marry to get money for Jack's .com business that went belly up, as most of them did in the early 2000s. So what shall be done? Snow handles this like a stone-cold bitch. The lottery made millions, but she gives Charming about $20,000 because of a reasonable expense clause, as well as making sure he gets that he will never make it as a penniless peasant. Then she uses the fact that Bluebeard broke the secrecy agreement in the marriage contract, so it is null and void. Bluebeard can take the reimbursement of his dowry or get charged with the attempted murder of Jack from the whole torture incident a couple issues ago. As for Jack and Rose, they're slapped with a $10,000 fine each and 200 hours of community service. It's just lucky that Charming wants to buy his titles and lands back. All in all, while no one got a happy ending, no one killed each other. Though there is this one thing that Snow doesn't understand: why she had to be Bigby's date. With some prodding, Bigby admits that he's just wanting to date her. She finds that pathetic, but doesn't hold it against him. And that is the end of the story. Yep, everything really does get wrapped up in a bow on this one. Honestly, the biggest thing I can say about this is that both Bigby's Parlor scene and Snow's square one problem solving at the end makes this team up work so well. It shows why Snow's the director of operations, finding the diplomatic solution to meet the least resistance, while Bigby offers the insight into his process, something that didn't look nearly as analytical as when we first saw each panel in the first issue. Both arbitrate what they need to, and can be all sorts of awesome with that as well. This is the end of the first story, and how did it fare? I think this is the reason why it was allowed to become an ongoing so much. It's only 5 issues. 5 is about the decent amount for storylines in Fables, and it introduces the world beautifully. It shows us, who our main characters are going to be in later issues. It gives us everything right at the outset, so we're not, spending 20 issues going, so there's an Agrabah? Don't worry, that'll come up later. Anyways, next time we'll take a trip up north to learn why 4 legs are better than 2, with the Animal Farm storyline beginning. See you tomorrow.